The actor who played Parker Lewis lost half the blood in his body on a boat in Belize. He almost didn't survive. But that's not even the most shocking thing that happened to this cast. Were you a Parker Lewis kid or a Simpsons kid? Because in 1990, that was the real war. Drop it in the comments. Synchronized swatches. Let's go. We're starting with the one person Parker Lewis could never outsmart. His own little sister, Shelly Lewis. The pint-sized mastermind who could dismantle any scheme before the first commercial break. Now, Maya Bruton was already a familiar face before Parker Lewis. She was Sarah Anderson, the Thor-obsessed kid in Adventures in Babysitting. She was Sally Baines in Back to the Future. She was 8 years old in that film. But here's something most people never knew. In 1985, little Maya was cast in a short-lived series called Lime Street, alongside Robert Wagner, her co-star, Samantha Smith, the young girl who became world famous for writing a letter to Soviet leader Yuri Andropov. Samantha passed away in a plane crash that same year. It was one of the very first credits on Maya's resume. So what happened after Parker Lewis ended in '93? She didn't chase Hollywood. She walked into Yale University, graduated in '98, passed the California bar exam, and became an attorney. Today, she is 48 years old, married to television producer Laura Spotts since 2008, raising twin boys, Rizzo and Calder, and living quietly in Los Angeles. From child star to Yale graduate to courtroom, Shelly Lewis really did write the better plan. We're starting with the one person Parker Lewis could never outsmart. His own little sister, Shelly Lewis. The pint-sized mastermind who could dismantle any scheme before the first commercial break. Now, Maya Bruton was already a familiar face before Parker Lewis. She was Sarah Anderson, the Thor-obsessed kid in Adventures in Babysitting. She was Sally Baines in Back to the Future. She was 8 years old in that film. But here's something most people never knew. In 1985, little Maya was cast in a short-lived series called Lime Street, alongside Robert Wagner, her co-star, Samantha Smith, the young girl who became world famous for writing a letter to Soviet leader Yuri Andropov. Samantha passed away in a plane crash that same year. It was one of the very first credits on Maya's resume. So what happened after Parker Lewis ended in '93? She didn't chase Hollywood. She walked into Yale University, graduated in '98, passed the California bar exam, and became an attorney. Today, she is 48 years old, married to television producer Laura Spotts since 2008, raising twin boys, Rizzo and Calder, and living quietly in Los Angeles. From child star to Yale graduate to courtroom, Shelly Lewis really did write the better plan. Let me just drop this on you right now. The woman who played Principal Musso, Parker Lewis's arch-nemesis, the door-glass-shattering terror of Santo Domingo, High, holds a United States patent. U.S. patent number 5,274,861, issued January 4, 1994. She co-invented a gray water recycling device, the Grayway rotating drain, with her Rugrats co-star Michael Bell, a device that recycles shower and sink water for household reuse. Principal Musso, inventor. Let that sink in. Pun absolutely intended. Melanie Chartoff was 77 years old as of December 2025. Before Parker Lewis, she was already a nationally known face, part of the cast of Fridays on ABC, the sketch comedy show that aired from 1980 to '82. Her castmates? a young Larry David, and Michael Richards, the future Kramer. On one live broadcast, a co-star accidentally failed to pull a punch during a skit and chipped Melanie's tooth. On live television. And if you've ever had a child or grandchild watching Nickelodeon in your house, you know her voice. From 1991 to 2008, Melanie voiced Dee Dee Pickles and Grandma Minka on Rugrats. 17 years, a daytime Emmy, and a voice that lived in millions of living rooms right alongside yours. Today, she's still performing on stage in Los Angeles. She published her memoir in 2021, Odd Woman Out, and John Goodman himself called it a very insightful chronicle of a very funny woman. She married Stan Friedman in 2013. She writes, she coaches actors. She's still going. All right, coming up next, we're meeting the biggest, most lovable human being to ever walk those Santo Domingo halls. And when I tell you his real middle name, you're going to think I'm making it up. All right. You already know who this is. 6'7", over 290 pounds. The guy who could clear an entire hallway just by standing in it. Larry Kubiak, or Koob if you were brave enough to call him that. The most terrifying kid at Santo Domingo High, who also happened to be the most lovable gentle giant on 90s television. Now, the actor's real name, get ready, is Abraham Reuben Hercules Benrubi. That is not a joke. That is his birth certificate. Hercules. And honestly, it fits. After Parker Lewis, Benrubi didn't disappear. He moved straight into one of the biggest shows of the 90s, ER on NBC. He played desk clerk Jerry Markovic, and he stayed for over 130 episodes across 15 years, from 1994 all the way to the series finale in 2009. Think about that. He was in ER longer than most doctors. But here's what you might not know. Between the first and second seasons of Parker Lewis, young Abraham and his castmate Taj Johnson, who we'll get to in just a moment, worked as roadies for a band called No Doubt. Their first tour. Before Gwen Stefani was Gwen Stefani. Two guys from the Parker Lewis set, hauling amps for a band nobody had heard of yet. Today, Abraham Benrubi is 56 years old. He's still acting. You can catch him in Holiday Touchdown, a Bill's love story, released in 2025. He's a prolific voice actor. Robot Chicken on Adult Swim, World of Warcraft, Big Hero 6. He's a member of the Sacred Fools Theater Company in Los Angeles. And he still collects comic books. Hercules, still going strong. Now, I just mentioned a name. Taj Johnson, the guy hauling amps with Benrubi. For No Doubt. You remember his character. You might not remember what happened to the actor. And there's a reason for that. Frank Lemmer. Principal Musso's shadow. The kid who dressed in all black, appeared out of nowhere, could be summoned with a dog whistle, and seemed to have a telepathic link to the principal herself. Part spy, part vampire, entirely unforgettable. 45 episodes across the first 2 seasons, then gone without explanation in season 3. The man who played him, Taj Johnson, is 55 years old today. Born in Woodstock, New York, graduated from Beverly Hills High School in 1989, and during the Parker Lewis years, while the rest of the cast was chasing the Hollywood spotlight, Johnson was doing something else entirely. He was hanging out in coffee houses, writing poetry, reading it aloud, living what IMDb itself describes as a beatnik-like existence. After Parker Lewis, Johnson appeared in the film Arthur Newman in 2012 and wrote and starred in a short film called Man in a Box in 2014. Beyond that, silence. TV Insider reported in 2023 that both Johnson and co-star Jennifer Guthrie have dropped out of the public eye. Sometimes, the most interesting story is the one someone chooses not to tell. All right, from the cast member who vanished, we go to the one who pulled off maybe the most dramatic real-life transformation of anyone on this list. You knew him as the lovable nerd. What he became? Let's just say Jerry Steiner grew up. Every great hero needs a loyal sidekick who's slightly terrified of everything. That was Jerry Steiner, the nervous, overthinking, endlessly devoted best friend who would follow Parker into absolutely any disaster, while quietly calculating exactly how badly it was going to end. Troy Slaten is 51 years old, and he is no longer an actor. He's a lawyer. Not just any lawyer. After Parker Lewis, Slaten graduated with honors in English literature from UCLA, earned his JD, Juris Doctor, from Pepperdine University, School of Law, and became a practicing attorney in Southern California, specializing in corporate law and litigation. He was a partner at Floyd, Skirin, Manukian, and Langevin, a firm in Westlake Village, California. And in 2022, this is where it gets interesting. Slaten ran for judge of the Los Angeles Superior Court, seat 60. He received 10% of the vote. He didn't win that one. But according to recent reports, he's now serving as an administrative law judge with the California Department of Industrial Relations. Jerry Steiner, the kid who was afraid of his own locker combination, became a judge. You know what? Parker would be proud. Seeing these faces again, hearing these names, it really does something, doesn't it? So let me ask you, and be honest, how many of you, back in 1990 or 91, secretly thought Larry Kubiak was the coolest guy on the show? Or maybe it was Mikey. Or maybe, and I won't judge, you had a little thing for Principal Musso. Confess in the comments. Don't be shy. I want to hear it. All right, 2 spots left. Coming up, Parker's wingman, the rock and roll rebel who quoted Don Henley and painted it black. And then, the man himself, number 1. Stay right here. Every great leader needs someone who doesn't think, who just goes. That was Mikey Randall, the rock and roll rebel. The guy who quoted song lyrics like they were scripture and jumped into Parker's schemes with zero hesitation and maximum heart. Billy Jayne was not a newcomer when he landed Parker Lewis. By the time he was 13, he'd already played young Dar in the cult classic The Beastmaster in 1982. He was Buddy Griffith in Just One of the Guys in '85, the younger brother who stole every scene he was in. And here's something wild. His original professional name wasn't Jayne. It was Jacoby. He changed it at 17 to match his actual birth name. Why Jacoby in the first place? Because his entire family acts, all 5 siblings. His half-brother Scott Jacoby had already won an Emmy. Little Billy came in under the family name to get a foot in the door, then stepped out on his own. Today, Billy Jayne is 57 years old, and he made a move that almost nobody from his generation of child actors made successfully. He went behind the camera. He founded a production company, the Jayne Collective, based in Los Angeles, and became an established director of big-budget commercials for Toyota, AT&T, Dr. Pepper, Snickers, Microsoft. He's directed spots with Shaquille O'Neal, Betty White, John Stamos. He also plays guitar. He toured the Persian Gulf performing for the troops, and he once played on stage with Macy Gray. Mikey Randall would have absolutely loved that life. All right, this is the one you've been waiting for. The kid in the wild shirts, the kid with the plan. The kid who looked straight into the camera and told us every single week that losing was simply not an option. Number 1. There was no Parker Lewis without Corin Nemec. He wasn't just the lead of the show. He was the engine, the voice, the confidence. The kid who made you believe that a high schooler in a loud shirt could bend reality itself if the plan was good enough. His real name is Joseph Charles Nemec IV, born November 5, 1971 in Little Rock, Arkansas. Before Parker Lewis, he was already an Emmy nominee for his lead role as Stephen Steiner in the NBC miniseries I Know My First Name is Steven in 1989. He was 17 years old. That nomination alone would have been a career for most actors. After Parker Lewis ended in '93, Nemec didn't slow down. He played Harold Lauder in the ABC miniseries adaptation of Stephen King's The Stand in 1994. Then came Stargate SG-1, where he played Jonas Quinn, a scientist from the planet Langara, joining the SG-1 team for Season 6 in 2002. That role brought him an entirely new generation of fans, a loyal science fiction audience who follows him to conventions around the world to this day. But in January 2013, everything almost ended. While filming a movie called Poseidon Rex in Belize, Nemec was aboard a Coast Guard vessel that crashed into a semi-submerged barge. The impact threw him into the side of the boat. His femur shattered in 3 places. He lost more than half the blood in his body. He needed multiple blood transfusions and 5 surgeries to survive. He told a local reporter, "Everyone on board that boat, everyone is lucky to be alive." He recovered. He came back. Today, Corin Nemec is 54 years old. He lives in Tampa, Florida. He married Sabrina Nova Trope in July 2023. He continues to act in independent films, Place of Bones, Dead Man's Hand, Out of Hand. He writes. He published a novel called Venice High in 2018. He's a graffiti artist. He attends fan conventions across the US and Europe. And when fans walk up to him and say, "You were my childhood," he's still there, still present, still grateful. Parker Lewis couldn't lose, and neither could Corin Nemec. Before we go, we need to take a moment, because not everyone from this show is still with us. John Pinette, Coach Hank Kohler, his final chapter. In the 3rd and final season of Parker Lewis, a new face arrived. Coach Hank Kohler, played by John Pinette. 15 episodes, a big presence, a warm, funny energy that fit right into the world of the show. But John Pinette was so much more than those 15 episodes. He was a stand-up comedian, a brilliant one. He was named Stand-Up Comedian of the Year by the American Comedy Awards in 1999. He played the carjacking victim in the final episode of Seinfeld in 1998, one of the most watched television events in history. He took the Broadway stage in Hairspray, playing Edna Turnblad from 2005 to 2006. 3 comedy specials, Show Me the Buffet, I'm Starvin', and Still Hungry, each one a love letter to life and laughter. On April 5, 2014, John Pinette left us at the age of 50. He was born March 23, 1964, in Boston, Massachusetts. He graduated from the University of Massachusetts Lowell with a degree in accounting, then left it all behind because making people laugh was the only job that ever made sense to him. He made us laugh. He made everyone laugh. And that is a legacy that doesn't fade. Time moves so incredibly fast. But these memories, they stay exactly where we left them. A Yale graduate who once played the most annoying little sister on television. A principal who invented a water-saving device. A gentle giant named Hercules. A poet who disappeared into the quiet. A nervous kid who became a judge. A rock and roller who now directs commercials for the biggest brands on earth. And a kid from Arkansas in a wild shirt who survived everything life threw at him and is still standing. Which of these transformations surprised you the most today? And if you could go back, just for one evening, to sit on that old sofa next to someone you love, the TV glowing in the corner, no phones, no streaming, just that theme song kicking in and the whole night ahead of you, what would you give to do it? Share your stories in the comments below. I read every single one of them. Thank you for watching, and thank you for remembering. Synchronized swatches, one last time.